Am I the asshole for walking out on husband and babies? Throw away and title sounds awful and I'm 35F, probably the asshole, but my god I am exhausted. I'm a stay-at-home mom to my daughter 2 and son 4 months. I'm a preschool teacher and it didn't make sense to go back to work with the cost of childcare and pandemic risk. My husband works and makes enough to support us, and all my salary would end up going to child care. We have separate accounts, his idea, and a joint household account that he puts money into. I contributed to this account when I was working. He works from home, 9-to-5 desk job that isn't stressful, he admits it's a cupcake job, has weekends and nights off, and takes vacation days. He likes his coworkers and often I hear him joking around on calls to them. I love that he loves his job. The problem is that once he's done working he's done with everything. He will occasionally play with the kids or fix himself a sandwich, but otherwise he's playing games or reading or watching something. He works out as well in the home gym, but there's nothing pressing on his time. Meanwhile I cook, clean, make toddlers special diet, no dairy or gluten due to allergies, I breastfeed on demand, walk and train the dog, love the dog but he's a Burmese mount dog and poops like a grown man, as well as do all the upkeep shopping that comes with running a house. I'm just tired. I'm so tired. And when I ask for help he just stares at me blankly until I go away. Yesterday I snapped. The kids were crying, the dog shit on the rug, he's a puppy, and he's reading his tablet and tells me, "Babe, it smells in here." I made sure that there was pumped breast milk and clean bottles, that dog food was out and the toddler had enough food for a few days, and I just left. I haven't picked up the phone just to text him when they need to eat, bedtime schedule, and I just realized that he has no idea how to keep the kids alive. I want to send my mom over but I feel like that's rewarding him. IDK. I got a hotel room for 2 days. I took a bath. I read a book and watched Netflix, and honestly I don't want to go back. I miss the kiddos a ton, and the dog, but I don't miss him. His family is calling me nonstop telling me I'm a bad wife mom, and his mother is flying in from Florida since I'm having some sort of breakdown. I don't want her here but I don't know what to do. I'm just so tired. Not the asshole. Honey, and I say this with love, you do sound like you are in the middle of a breakdown. There is no shame in that. Take care of you, take that bath, make sure someone knows you are okay. Take the time you need. When you do go home, you have got to have an honest conversation with your husband that he needs to step up. Maybe go to couples counseling so someone outside of this can help him hear you. But you take care of you right now. I know I'm a random stranger, but I'm sending you so many hugs. Not the asshole, but I do feel the need to say something. You need to sit down with your husband and have a serious conversation about working as a team. Those are his kids too and he needs to take care of them. SMH. Parenting classes, couples counseling should also be an option. Honestly he sounds like a deadbeat though, as a father at least, and you should probably leave for good. Not the asshole. So sorry it's come to this. He needs to be pulling his weight with his children, dog and home. Seriously dude, not even finding and removing the smell. Info. Have you ever spoken to anyone individually or as a couple? You can definitely reset boundaries, but also good to make sure you're okay. You're only 4 most pp in a pandemic. Not the asshole sounds like you got overwhelmed and snapped. It's not great but you left them with everything needed. It may be wake up call needed for you and your husband. Therapy and an even time with chores kids is needed. Sounds like you get no free time and he gets a lot of free time. After work he needs to do 50-50. These comments coddling your husband and insisting he simply doesn't know what has to be done are insane. I can't believe he expected you to pick up dog shit while he sat there. Not the asshole, but I hope this was a wake-up call for him and that he goes to couples therapy with you. Not the asshole. During his work hours he is 100% work and you are 100% kids house. That part is fair. Outside of those hours kids house should be 50% you and 50% him. He is not doing his share. It's understandable that you are at a breaking point. While he gets his evenings, weekends and early mornings to relax, you're still working nonstop. That is not okay. I hope you sit him down after this and explain that is absolutely needs to change. Good luck op. Not the asshole, but I'd get back before Mill takes over and reinforces the privileged upbringing his parents gave him. Plus I'm betting you're starting to miss the kids and dog. Info. So you left your husband with your 2 children and disappeared? I can't tell from the way your post is written whether you are or are not answering your phone. Does your partner know that you're safe? Have you communicated to anyone where you are? Not the asshole, but your spouse definitely is. He is also selfish and unsupportive of you. I'm glad you took the time to get away and have time for yourself, although better circumstances would have been preferred. Hopefully some marriage counseling will help strengthen your marriage and relationships. Best of luck to you. Everyone sucks here because you need and deserve a break, but leaving kids with an incompetent carer not good. A conversation must be had when someone forgets to do their part. Kids probably sad and confused. Mom vanished. Not the asshole. For a few reasons. First, I'm not worried about you because if you're able to do self-care and crack jokes lol at poops like a grown man. Your husband sadly sounds like a narcissist. For a normal human being, facing those tasks and responsibilities solo would be an eye-opener. For a self-absorbed person, someone whose mom is flying in and will definitely enable and defend him, this is probably going to be difficult. That being said, enjoy as much time as you can. Talk to a therapist if one is accessible to you. The crazy thing about the pandemic is you can't see your therapist in person anyway, so suddenly there's thousands of accessible decent therapists online. Love to you. Not the asshole. Reset husband boundaries or get the heck out of there with your babies. Running away isn't going to fix anything. Info: had you ever talked to him about helping out or rather confronted him about not helping out? Info: do you have postpartum depression? Do you plan to teach in fall 2021 after getting vaccinated in the summer? Does he change the diapers? How old is your husband? Are you and your husband from different backgrounds? Not the asshole. The kids and dog belong to both of you, not just you. If you were working outside of the home, would he still be expecting you to take care of everything in your off time, while he works out or plays a game? Just because you're a stay-at-home mother doesn't mean he has no responsibilities in the home. He's not Don Draper. Sweetie, you can't take care of others if your glass is empty. Yours was so far past empty. Get into therapy for yourself and couples therapy. Your husband is a third child, not a partner. You're not the asshole and you need a break. Hugs honey. All the hugs. Please take care of yourself. This may get lost in the comments, but my mom went on a strike when I was a kid, too. She just sat in her room and stared at my dad when he asked her to do anything. And then she started locking the door. Luckily my dad pulled his shit together and became a real adult, 'cause her next plan was probably counseling or serving papers. He's a grown man and should equally parent his children, especially when his work hours have ended. Not the asshole. It's also strange that he called his mother in to help him, instead of stepping up and handling his business. You need to have a huge talk with your husband. How are you supposed to solve any of these problems when you literally walked out the door and won't answer your phone? You have 2 kids and you haven't gotten him to pull his weight yet. He probably never will unless you actually talk it out. He's an adult, he should parent and keep the house in order on his own without you telling him how. But if he's not doing it, you need to say something and stop letting him just live as a guest in his own house. Make a list, get a family household app or your phones, or make a schedule, but do something. Do you want a divorce? Because it sounds like you do. You don't miss him, only your kids. You are the asshole. If this was a man doing this sub would be calling for his head. You don't get to just pick and choose when you want to watch your kids. Hi, be an adult. Tell your husband to step it up, but to just get up and walk out, you're a huge asshole for that. NTA. And #X200B. Can we get an update though? This comment section is completely mad. You are an awful person for walking out on your children like that. 100% you are the asshole. If you have a problem with your husband, talk to him, sort it out, or don't and separate. This isn't a cry for help. It's an act of self-indulgence. Not the asshole. I feel you so much. I left my ex for not doing his share. The only difference is I make more than him, so I was working and do everything with the kiddo and pets. It's hard. Stupid hard. I've found that while still hard, it's easier away from him since I'm only taking care of myself and the kiddo instead of him as well. I'm sorry. I give you internet hugs. Not the asshole. He isn't pulling his weight at all outside of working, and a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job that never ends. If you go back and nothing is different, figure out your options. Him not doing his part will lead to resentment. Not the asshole. Your husband sounds pretty useless tbh. Not the asshole. I am so fucking tired of this same story being played out from family to family, household to household. One parent does a job, outside the home, and the other one does literally everything in the home. Of course you're having a breakdown, and I am crazy impressed that you made it this long. I had a similar, much easier setup, and my spouse made me hand over the baby and go out. NGL, it saved my marriage. Spouse has taken over while I have been non-COVID sick forever, and now I feel guilty for slacking while I'm sick. Not the asshole, but 2 questions. 1. Did he act like this with your first child? 2. Who decided to add a huge puppy to the family when you had one small child and were expecting another? Why? Not the asshole. I'm laughing that he needs his mommy because he can't survive for 2 days. Not the asshole. You need to put your foot down, get back to hubby and let him know when you'll be back. He should be doing a lot more. You should have a day off a week and he should do a couple of nights with the baby so you can have a full night's sleep. He is not being a good partner or father and is showing little regard for you and your health. I'm on maternity leave. My husband is working from home and this year has been quite busy, as in some days, he's been working 14 hours. He still does laundry, has baby a couple of nights, does the food shop, plays with her, gives me a day off, cooks half the week and generally cleans up. He consistently checks in with me to make sure I'm okay. It sounds as though your husband has done none of the above. It's not okay. Enjoy your break. Not the asshole. Did he seriously fly in his mom to help him take care of his own 2 children for 2 days? Are you sure this is a grown adult man we're taking about? Dads are fully capable of keeping children alive for 2 days. You've already set up all the supplies and schedules for him. That's like parenting with training wheels. And he called his mom to fly in? Is he not even ashamed of his lack of ability to parent? Would it have been better if you planned this break further in advance and discussed it with him? Sure. But that newborn baby exhaustion is so real. And your husband is clueless. I'm assuming he has other redeeming qualities. Not the asshole, but be careful. If your marriage ends, this is likely to be raised when it comes to who gets custody. His story. She abandoned us for X days. No contact. She had a mental breakdown and just left. It doesn't matter if Redditors think it's justified, they won't be the one signing the court order. Make contact. Tell him where things are, if only through an email, and remember that email may be read in a courtroom later. Do send your mother over if you can. Have him or your mother express your love to the kids. And remember, the longer this drags out, the more likely a court will question your fitness. If you're thinking of divorce, you should see an attorney sooner, rather than later. As in now. Good luck. Lol at you getting a massive dog while you are clearly overwhelmed with having 2 very small children. Not the asshole. Mill needs to stay home. And his family needs to stop calling you. I cannot believe he told them, what an ass. Esh. I am sorry that your husband is blind to your current stress level. Abandoning your family is not a good thing. Actions like this often result in the abandoner having access to their children only through supervised visits. Please access couples counseling. Not the kind that validates your point of view, but the kind that is specifically solution-oriented. Not the asshole if everyone keeps telling you that you are a bad mom. You tell them, okay, guess he's just gonna have full custody. They will change their damn minds fast. Girl, you order some bath bombs from Lush and get a pizza and take all the self-care you need. Info: why did you get the dog when you have a 4-month-old? Whose idea was that? Just one thing I would add. My wife decided to go back to work even though she couldn't afford to cover childcare with her salary. We decided the slight incremental cost for her to feel better mentally was worth it. She wasn't happy as a SOM. That's not good for anyone, her, me, or the kids. You are the asshole. No excuse to walk out on your kids. No excuse for his lack of participation in being a parent. People on here are just validating your fucked up mentality because you're the women. If a man did this, it would be a different story. In my opinion, doesn't matter what role you have, man, women, I don't care. Don't walk out on your kids. Asking for a divorce, going through the process, that's different. But walking out? Unacceptable. Fuck all these people supporting you walking out on your kids. You didn't slip and fall on his dick. You made the choice twice. Unfucking believable. Esh, hear me out. You did say that you breastfeed one of your kids and the other has a strict diet due to allergies. Your husband should help more, but he might not know how to deal with this, which can leave your kids in danger. I suggest you have a talk with your husband and split household chores. When I ask for help he just stares at me blankly until I go away. WTF, that's not normal. That's not okay. Father of 2 here. Your husband sounds like one of the biggest pieces of crap I have ever heard of. Reading this makes my blood boil. He deserves to have you leave him. What a sorry excuse for a man. Not the asshole. I'm gonna go with Esh. You think you're sticking it to your husband, and you kind of are. But your kids don't understand why mom isn't home. Your 4-year-old especially is probably scared and will remember this. I remember all the times my parents left after a fight and how I was scared they wouldn't come home. I was between 4 and 6 during that tumultuous time. That's what you're doing to your kids right now. Your husband sucks too since he won't help around the house or with the kids. Wow. Your husband's a baby. I live with a roommate. We are friends and he has 2 dogs, one of which is a Doberman puppy. There was this one time when I came home and he got excited and peed all over. My roommate is a soccer coach and tries his best to spend time with the dogs. But he wasn't there. So I cleaned it up. No biggie, I'm not gonna stay in a house that stinks. For me it was more about making sure the house I live in doesn't stink. Your husband has gotten used to the comfort of being babied. Adults keep a clean house. It's our job. And if we have pets and kids we take care of them too. He could have easily taken the dog out so this whole shit situation wouldn't have arisen. Not the asshole. Info. Did you try to talk to your husband before you left? Not the asshole. And, honestly, I'd reconsider whether you want to stay in this marriage. Your children are young, but once they're more self-sufficient, I would consider leaving. I was married for 16 years to a guy like this. Except that I worked a full-time job outside the house and took care of everything myself. Eventually I realized that I might as well get all the perks of being single if I'm going to do all the work myself anyway. It was a huge relief to jettison the 3rd adult child from my life. But, I wish I'd done it sooner rather than being miserable for so long. Not the asshole because you've been functioning as a single parent and he's functioning as your 3rd kid, 4th if you count the dog. He needs a taste of what it's like and you should both probably engage in some couples counseling after you get home. NTA. When you go home explain that there is 24 hours in a day. 8 hours of that you will spend as a som while he works his job. The remaining hours, all household childcare jobs will be split between you and him in 4-hour shifts. Not the asshole. You signed up for a partner, not another dog. I think this idea of the husband, helping, is so fucking toxic. 50% your DNA, 50% your fucking responsibility. None of this oh he helps or he babysits the kids BS. Not the asshole, he either needs to start being a father or be divorced and pay a shit ton of child support.